Welcome. This is another episode of Tim Time, and this is episode 6, New Home. We're going to do something a little bit different today, and so we're going to try this little voiceover while I play. Also, I sped it up a little bit so we could get through some of the little boring parts. Today, we're going to go ahead and make some pants, and we're going to kill some things. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to all of you who've been watching the series with Stigandr, Zero to Hero. Yeah, it's been pretty fun making these, and I'm going to go through the series all the way till we get to Elkthir, which is the first boss. We'll go from there. There's a lot of other things that I would like to do for the series, is to build like a little town, go through all the bosses, all at a kind of leisurely pace, and hopefully this has been enjoyable for you as it has been for me. So continue to enjoy. Yeah, for this episode, I'm going to go ahead and do a kill count of specific things I kill, from deer to boar to monsters to random things that are in Valheim. So yeah, we'll be doing a kill count this time around and continuing to explore. One of the things I appreciate about this game is that it requires a little bit of skill. So using the bow has been one of the most skillful challenges that I had to go through to figure it out. I'm not perfect at it, but I'll get better at it as the time goes on. But it's a sticky thing because you have to kind of guess how far it is, the wind, kind of go above and in front of the monster or your target, and then hopefully you hit it. It takes a little bit of practice, but as you can see here, trying to hit that deer, which, by the way, I'm not going to catch, but I will try to chase it for a little bit. But once deer starts going and you haven't hit it on the first run, it's really hard to catch, unless you're really pro at using the bow. It's really hard to do at first. Yeah, I was kind of proud of this shot. But one of the things about this game is the food mechanic. It creates this reality of the world where you have to keep your character fed, and that means you have to continue to find things to eat. One of the easiest ways is to kill things. You can't kill these monsters, but like boar and deer and other random regular monsters like animals, you could go ahead and cook their meat and eat. So they give you like stats, increase in stats, because you'll notice that my health is at 65, and it looks like I'm going to lose some raspberries there. But you have to keep yourself fed, and that's one thing about it. Especially if you want to stay alive and fight bigger monsters or fight for longer, you have to get your stats up, and the only way to do that is through food. Now, as we level up and kill larger animals, you can see that I'll get better stats. Right now, I'm going to be focused on boar, deer. I think like there's something called a neck, and then there's also graylings. The thing with graylings, the monsters, is I can't eat those. But I could eat boar, I could eat deer, I could eat necks, and then any random vegetables or fruits that you get from the land. That includes like mushrooms, raspberries, blueberries, and everything. And so, yeah, the interesting thing about the blueberries and the raspberries is that they respawn every so often, so they grow. So it has a reality to that one. So that's kind of cool. So, but yeah, definitely the food is a really cool mechanic because there's no level up in Valheim. It's basically your armor, which you get through mining, killing animals, and getting the leather and stuff. And then the mining is you're getting like the ore and everything like that, which will be in the later stages. That way, getting your armor and then finding the right food to help your stats get higher. So those are just some ways in which to go ahead to do all that. So yeah, good thing. Food, that's the way you go. The way to a man's heart and the way to Stigandr's heart is to feed him. So hopefully I kept him well fed and we'll stay alive for a long time. One good thing is I haven't died yet. So I'm hoping to make this series into never dying. We'll see how that works out. So I do have to keep track of food and making sure I'm well fed and everything. So anyways, yeah, continuing on. One of the aspects of using the bow is the ability to snipe things. I don't know if there's like a crit function or anything like that, but when you aim from afar and get an animal or even a monster that is not noticing like that, you could kill it in one shot. So for sure, those smaller monsters and animals you can kill in one shot. I've seen that. I've killed deer and boar in one shot, and for sure necks. But graylings, the monsters, the little ones I could kill in one shot, but I think there's bigger ones that kind of have a hard time when you're take a couple of shots. We'll see those later as I get into the dark forest. The black forest? This is a black forest. Definitely a black forest with darkness and a lot of magical things in it. So when we get there, we will see those monsters and survive, since we are surviving in this one. At this point, it's getting kind of late for my character, and I felt like it was about time to go ahead and build something. Basically a shelter. And looking at the area, I figured that, well, why don't I go ahead and start my base here? I've wanted a place near the water so that I could build a dock and maybe build some boats so I could go across to other lands. So I'm gonna go ahead and start my first base here. This would be Alpha Base. And I'll go ahead and build it from here, practice my building skills. And I do like to say that the building function for Valheim is pretty good. The user interface is nice. There are some sticky elements when trying to put up upper levels, but you could have many different levels for your structures, multi-leveled structures, and I think that's really interesting. So for the creative aspect of Valheim, I feel like this is top-notch, and I really enjoy the building aspect of it. Although I'm not advanced in the way I am building it in my design, I hope that through time I'll be able to really build nice structures that are not only functional but also pleasing to myself and to the viewers. So hopefully you like that. All right, some next steps is I'm going to go hunting and finding more scraps and meat for the purposes of building my pants and getting food and stats and everything like that. Also, I'm going to be building a new house. This is the one I'm working on right now. And then hopefully in the next couple episodes, I'll get into my first boss fight and I'll see how that goes. So if you liked my content, enjoy this time of this episode, go ahead and like, subscribe, and follow. And I'll see you next time in Valheim.